Hi everyone and welcome to Abhishek's kitchen. Today we are going to make Matcha Eclair. At the end of this recipe, I am also going to share with you some plating ideas. So let's get started.
Now for the recipe. First for the matcha whipped ganache. In a pan of 120 gram cream on medium heat, add matcha tea and mix to remove any lumps. Bring this mixture to a boil. Once it starts boiling, remove it from the heat. Pour this on top of the chocolate and mix until the chocolate melts. If the chocolate doesn't melt, then microwave at 30-second intervals. Do not exceed 30-second intervals as it might burn the chocolate. Add 280 grams of cold cream to this and mix. Next, using a hand blender, emulsify the mixture. Cover this with a cling wrap and store it in the fridge for a minimum of 16 hours. The cling wrap should touch the surface of the ganache so that no skin is formed on the ganache. Now for the matcha tea cream. In a pan of 450 grams of milk on medium heat, add sugar and matcha and mix. Next, in the remaining 50 grams of milk, add egg yolks and cornstarch and whisk. Once the milk starts boiling, remove it from the heat. Add 1/4 of the milk to the egg mixture and whisk. This process is called tempering. In tempering, a cold element is added to the hot element gradually. In this case, we don't want scrambled eggs, that is why it is whisked immediately after introducing the hot milk. Transfer this to the pan of hot milk and mix. Transfer this back to the heat and whisk until thickened. Transfer this to a bowl and whisk to remove any lumps. Cover this with a cling film and keep it in the fridge to chill. Now for the choux pastry, preheat the oven to 165 degrees Celsius to a conventional mode. Next, in a pan of milk on medium heat, add water, sugar, salt and butter and mix and bring it to a boil. Once the above starts boiling and all the butter has melted, remove it from the heat. Add flour and mix. Mix until one dough ball of the mixture is formed. Transfer this to the heat if there is still some liquid left. The dough is ready when it is shiny and is easily separated from the pan. Another way to test this is to place a small portion of the dough on a plate for a minute to check if it is forming a ball when cooled or not. In the meantime, you can see that the dough is forming a ball when I am moving the pan. You can also see that the small portion on the plate is also forming a ball when moved. Transfer this dough to a stand mixer with a paddle attachment to cool down the dough to 50 degrees Celsius. Mix this at a low speed. This is done because the eclair doesn't like any type of air in it. That's the reason why whisk was not used. Once it is cooled, add half of the whisked eggs and continue mixing. We did not add all the eggs together because we might not need all the eggs. Depending on the heat of the dough, we might need lesser amount. Stop the mixer. We can see that the dough is still thick. So we'll add small quantity of the remaining eggs and mix again. Stop the mixer and check the fluidity of the dough. This is the kind of flowability we are looking for. Remove the bowl from the stand mixer and you can see the flowability of the dough. We have some leftover eggs as well. Transfer this to a piping bag with a thick star-tip nozzle. Pipe 12 to 13 cm long lines on a silicone pad or parchment paper placed on a baking rack. At the end of piping a line, touch the nozzle at the silicone pad and then flip it back. This gives good aesthetics to the eclairs. Bake this in a preheated oven for 40 to 45 minutes. You can see that the eclairs are cooked uniformly from top and bottom. You can see that the eclairs are crispy from the outside and hollow from the inside. This gives a lot of space for filling. Sometimes when it is not cooked from the bottom, the eclairs can sink and we won't have enough room for the filling. Next, remove the cling wrap of the ganache and transfer it to a stand mixer bowl. Whip the ganache at medium to high speed. Once you see that it is creamy and smooth, remove it from the stand mixer. Next, create 2 holes at the bottom of the eclair and add Matcha Tea Cream inside it. Next, on the top of the eclair, apply matcha whipped ganache. Sprinkle some matcha powder on top of the ganache. Your matcha eclairs are ready. Next, if you cut an eclair, you can see how scrumptious this eclair is looking, filled with tea cream and topped with ganache. Please go and try making them and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you and namaste from my side. See you all in the next video.